looked as if part of the ceiling had rearranged most of Warb's head. There was something about the walls that I didn't like. I think it was the way they wouldn't stop swimming. I decided against touching the walls. An inscription had appeared on the wall. Maybe it had been there all the time and I just couldn't read it. I wasn't sure. It seemed to say, Quod nescient eos interficit. I didn't know what it meant. Quad meant what, but that was all I knew. Come on, Charlotta, let's get out of here before the rest of the roof comes down.
I'm not leaving my master.
He's not going to make it. You can at least save yourself.
Leave us, Lewton. Leave!
I searched the rubble and uncovered the golden falchion. The sword was bad luck, but I had a feeling it was safer in my hands than anyone else's. For a god, Anu was looking in a bad way. I tried to listen in to what Anu was saying, but his voice was weak and faltering.
I should have known. The inscription. I forgot the inscription.
Quiet, master. Conserve your strength.
The terrified cultist was obviously in pain and finding it hard to walk. He wasn't going anywhere. Well, he wasn't going anywhere fast, anyway. What's up with you?
Broke my stupid leg when the roof came in.
Which one are you?
What?
You must be Coom.
How did you know that?
I recognize your voice. Now give me one good reason why I shouldn't turn you over to the watch.
Please, don't. I didn't think I was doing anything wrong. It was just a little fun, you know? Secret meetings and plots for world domination. I mean, it's intoxicating.
Well, now it's blown up in your face, and at least one member of your cult is dead.
Who was it?
Warb. He had a disagreement with a large block of stone.
I don't want to do... I'm terrified. I suspect that some of the cultists might have wanted us to fail.
Really? Why?
I don't know. Just a hunch. Please don't turn me over to the watch. I didn't do anything wrong.
8 people died because of your cult.
No. I'm sorry. I should never have got involved.
Where have the others gone?
I don't know. Back to the sanctuary, I guess. They didn't really tell me much. I was only the novice.
Maybe I was getting soft in my old age, but I couldn't escape the feeling that the poor fool was just a victim of peer pressure. I guess he just wanted to belong to something, and he didn't much care what. I sympathized. In my own way. Get going. I don't ever want to see you again.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You won't regret this.
I'd better not. When I went back to the mansion, the butler had some grim news for me. The Count had shuffled off his mortal coil in the recent disc quake. He was sleeping the big sleep, pushing up daisies, crossing the final frontier, booking a vacation to the underworld. Basically, he was dead. Fortunately, he'd left provisions for me in his will. He'd pay my way to the end of the case, and more importantly, he was allowing me to continue to use the library. Well, what did it matter to him who used the library now he was gone? When you're dead, you were sleeping the big sleep, and nothing much mattered to you anymore. All the nastiness was behind you. For the rest of us, the nastiness was still all around us, and that if I didn't stop that nastiness from crushing us all under its tentacles, we'd all be sleeping the big sleep. Frankly, I didn't think the afterlife would have enough beds. I had a look through the Necrotelecomnicon discussed for students to see if I could find any more useful information. It wasn't long before I found the phrase that had been inscribed on the wall of the sepulchral temple, Quod nescient eos interficit. It turned out to be the motto of an ancient cult, the dark sect of Nylonathatep, whose emblem was the triple-lobed eye. The tome told me a little of the history of the cult. It seems the mad cultists of the laddering horror had conspired to destroy all creation, but their attempt failed. Obviously. And they were believed to have faded into obscurity. I had a suspicion that's exactly what the cult wanted people to think. According to the book, the cult had a sacred artifact, a source of great power known as the radiant trapezohedron, which could destroy Nylonathatep or give him dominion over all things, if it fell into his tentacles. There was no description of it, although the author seemed to think it was something small. There was something about a cult plotting to destroy all creation that disturbed me. I had a feeling you couldn't reason with people like that. It always looked much easier in the clickies. When I went back to Leonard's cell, it was lacking a large part of the wall. The disc quake must have taken its toll on the palace. Leonard and Two Conkers were still working on the flapping wing flying device like nothing had happened. Just a few more questions, if you wouldn't mind. Have you heard of the radiant trapezohedron?
What is this being?
Well, I don't really know. It's a source of great power. That's the only thing I'm sure about.
What is being a trapezohedron to mean?
It's a type of crystal in which all the faces are trapeziums.
And a trapezium?
A type of quadrilateral with no parallel sides.
No, that's a trapezoid.
No, a trapezoid has two parallel sides of different lengths.
That's a trapezium.
No, it's not.
Where are your family from anywhere near Genua?
My grandfather was. What's that got to do with anything?
Genuine geometry has slightly different definitions to Ephebian geometry. I tend to go by Legibus's definitions in his Geometries. Have you read it?
This trapezohedron.
Trapezohedron.
All sides would be consisting of squashed squares.
Well, that's a slightly crude summary, but essentially correct.
That's it. That's the jewel I am being seeking.
Really?
Much yesness. Just like that is being, but with gold platings.
And you were looking for this, right? How close were you to finding it?
I am of some sureness that it is to being in Ankh-Morpork, and I am of the believing that this arrangement of stars is of great importantude in its discoverage.
Can I see that?
Please, take if you wishing. I am not to be having much chances to look myself now. I would be of delighted nature if you would continue the looking for me.
I don't know exactly what I hoped to learn from the sanctuary, but I went anyway. Maybe I was hoping that all the cultists would be as easily intimidated as Coom. I was wrong.
You're very sharp, Mr. Lewton. You've done a very sharp thing. Maybe even sharp enough to cut your own throat.
You must be Kondo.
I'm flattered. How did you know?
I recognize your voice. You tried to kill me with that crossbow once before.
It's silver-tipped before you get any heroic ideas. The Dark Sect isn't as sloppy as the cult of Anu.
A cult within a cult.
We couldn't believe our luck. Mooncalf and Therma were looking for people to join their cult, and they actually wanted to summon Nylonathatep. Can you believe that? Do you have any idea how rare it is that someone wants to summon the laddering horror for anything other than wreaking havoc and destruction?
Who's we?
Oh, no, it's not that easy. Do you think I'm the overconfident villain who reveals his whole plot to the hero shortly before placing you in an overly complex life or death situation that you then escape from at the last minute?
It might make life easier if you were.
Real life isn't like the clickies, Lewton. The good guys don't always win.
What makes you think I'm the good guy?
I don't care what side you're on, Lewton. All I care about is that we are victorious and that everything is destroyed.
I just don't understand why anyone would want to destroy the whole of creation. If you want to die, why not just kill yourself?
I'm going to achieve something with my life, Lewton. Something that no one will ever forget.
Everyone's going to be dead. No one is going to remember anything.
And that's an achievement no one else can claim.
You're insane.
That's what my psychiatrist said. I had to kill him too. He knew too much. Just like you.
Some people say that when you're about to die, your life flashes before your eyes. For me, the world seemed to go into slow motion.
I told you, Lewton, the good guys don't always win.
Very true, but they try much harder.
I'm dead, aren't I? Am I going to spend eternity suffering in the pits of hell for what I've done?
If that's what you want.
Oh, I can't believe I'm not going to find out how all this ends after all the work I put into it.
It's never fun being taken off a project you've worked hard on.
That's the last time I get so involved in my work.
How right you are.
When I came to, I wasn't sure if I was dead or alive. That seemed to be happening to me a lot.
Hello again.
Have you come for me?
No. I was just passing through and I thought it would be polite to say hello. Isn't that what you're supposed to do with acquaintances?
If you want to scare them to death.
Sorry. I'm not good in social situations.
It must be hard to fit in when you're a 7-foot-tall skeleton with a scythe.
I'll see you later.
That doesn't fill me with confidence.
That, I'm afraid, is your problem.
On Kondo's body was an amulet. It had to be worth finding out what it was, so I took it. I'd killed Kondo, but at least he hadn't killed me. The Temple of Small Gods seemed deserted when I returned there. I could hear mad laughter echoing inside. Mooncalf? Is that you?
Leave this place! Begone! All are cursed! All will be destroyed!
It was Mooncalf, all right. This amulet is the mark of that entity that you and your cult summoned. I found it on Kondo's body. Does it mean anything to you?
It means that Kondo is a traitor. He won't be the only one. They all hate me.
Kondo wasn't a follower of Anu at all. He worships the laddering horror. I think he might have been mad.
Madness. Yes. Sweet singing in my ears.
Seems to be fashionable at the moment. Now listen to me. I need to know who else might have been a double agent.
Who? Who? I'll tell you who. They all hated me. Especially Foid.
Foid? The troll?
Yes, the troll. I never liked him. I don't trust trolls.
Where is he now?
How would I know? He wouldn't tell me. He never liked me. Nobody liked me.
Did he say anything to you?
He said he was going to change his identity, make a run for it. Such a coward. Stupid troll.
What about the rest of the cult? Where can I find them?
It's too late for everyone. Nothing can save us now.
Where's your faith? Don't you believe that Anu is the god of gods?
No! I renounce my faith. Anu betrayed me. He betrayed me!
Mooncalf jumped screaming through the stained glass window and began to climb the temple. I could hear Mooncalf ranting as he climbed up the outside of the temple.
I give my faith to one God, and it brings about the destruction of everything. Gods are nothing but trouble. Can't trust them. You can't trust them. We don't need them. They need us more than we need them. I'm letting atheism into my heart as my savior. I am a born-again atheist. I renounce all gods! Oh, I can't believe I survived that fall.
You didn't.
Your death, then.
You've heard of me? I'm flattered.
Oh, what were the odds that I'd get hit by lightning just as I renounced all gods?
About 1 to 1, I'd say. You're not the first. Although I think you're the first to do it from the top of their own temple. Full marks for style.
Thank you, I think.
Don't mention it. I try to make the process as enjoyable as possible.
So what happens next?
That depends on you. But you've renounced all the gods, so I doubt you'll be off to any of the heavens. Or hells, for that matter.
Well, what about reincarnation? I always liked the sound of that.
Well, it's not really up to me. But if you do come back, can I advise you to be careful what you say on the top of religious monuments?
I'll see what I can do. Do you know, I don't feel so dedicated anymore.
Death gives you a whole new perspective on life.
I should never have become a zealot. My mother was right. I should have been a tax collector.
Perhaps in the next lifetime, eh?
Say what you like about Mooncalf. He knew how to put on a show. Unfortunately, he hadn't left me with many leads, although finding Foid wasn't a bad idea. I had already a lot of practice getting information out of trolls. All I had to do was work out where he was. You're back.
Back? Had I gone somewhere?
Here we go again. So you're a sculptor then?
Yes. Yes, I'm reasonably sure I am. Something like that, anyway.
Why do I get the feeling that you aren't going to be much good at small talk? I have to ask some questions.
Okay.
You dropped these over by Malachite's spot.
Oh, did I? Thank you. What are they?
They're bandages. Only the funny thing is, they're covered in plaster.
Really?
I suppose you were making some kind of modification to one of your statues.
Yes, that's right.
Only the funny thing is, none of the statues have changed. Perhaps you could explain that. Shall I tell you what I think? I think you're operating as an illegal plastic surgeon for trolls on the lam. Half-inch on the nose here, a bit extra on the chin. Even their own mother wouldn't know them, eh?
But I'd never do anything illegal. Honestly.
Don't worry, I'm not going to turn you over to the watch. I just want some information.
Information?
Yeah. I know that you're not the best person to come to for information, given your memory.
Yes, that's what makes me a good plaster surgeon. I can never remember who my patients are.
Do you work here?
Not usually. No. I usually work wherever they need me.
But you had to do Malachite here because he didn't have anywhere to go.
Malachite. Malachite.
Oh, come on. He was right here in the workshop.
Oh, that troll. Yes, I did him.
That's what I thought. I have to ask some questions.
Okay.
Did you work on a troll named Foid?
Foid.
All right, I can't give you a description. All trolls look the same to me. But if you worked on him, it'd have been recently. Have you worked on a troll in the last day or so?
Yes. I worked on someone down by the river recently.
A street name would be nice.
I'm really hopeless with names.
How do you find people's houses?
I'm really good at taking directions.
Well, where was this troll that you worked on?
You walk to the river Ankh, turn right, and then take the 3rd street on the right. It's opposite an abandoned shop.
An abandoned shop? Thanks. I think I can find that. I guess you'd better get back to your work. Foid, are you there?
No, there's no one named Foid here.
Don't lie, Foid. Firstly, I recognize your voice. And secondly, I've spoken to Rhodan. Don't worry, I'm not gonna cause you any trouble. All you have to do is cooperate with me, and I'll leave you alone.
Were yous followed?
No, I've got cautious about that recently.
What do you want?
Nice place you have here.
Cut the small talk. Just ask yous questions and get out.
Nice place you have here.
Cut the... just...
Does this amulet mean anything to you?
Yeah, that does look familiar. That's Satrap's.
This belongs to Satrap? Are you sure?
Sure, I'm sure. Saw it round his neck.
And where is he now?
Dunno.
I have the Falchion. I think it might be possible to stop Nylonathatep using the sword, but I need to know how.
Dunno. They didn't tell me nothing like that.
Are you telling me that you were part of a secret cult, but you didn't know anything that was going on?
Well, I did what Mooncalf told me most of the time.
Because he was the leader, you mean?
Well, he was the figurehead, but I don't know if he was the leader.
Then why were you following Mooncalf's instructions?
He was my contact. That's how we stayed in touch. Use contact keeps you in touch with what goes down.
I see. Everyone in the cult had a contact, right?
That's right.
So who was Satrap's contact?
That was Gelid.
And where can I find Gelid?
Dunno, but I think he worked as a porter up at the university.
That's all I need to know. Thanks. Let's hope we don't meet again, Foid. It had been a while since I'd been to the new hall, and I had a bad feeling about what Mrs Fomes would have to say to me if she saw me.
Mr. Lewton, I was wondering if you'd turn up again.
Can I come in?
No, you're fired. Worst bedmaker I ever hired.
Listen, I have to get inside the university. There's a dangerous cult trying to destroy the city, and I need to talk to someone inside.
That's what they all say. Now goodbye and don't come back.
That wasn't what I wanted to hear. Things are looking busy in here, Nobby.
Yeah, I don't know what's come over everyone, but they're acting crazy.
Crazy? Isn't that a subjective term around here?
What?
Never mind. What sort of crazy things?
People attacking each other for no good reason. And jumping to their deaths, too. We haven't seen such carnage since the rule of Lord Snapcase. We've got riots out there, and they're not even being started by dwarves. I've never seen anything like it.
It's going to get worse.
How can you tell?
Trust me, this is only the beginning. I need to get into the unseen university, and I want you to help me do it.
How?
Can't you get me some kind of warrant or something?
No, absolutely not. Vimes would go spare if he knew I'd given a search warrant to you.
A search warrant?
Yeah, it's a piece of parchment from the Patrician allowing us to search a premises. Or is that a premise?
Well, I need one.
I can't do it, Lewton. It's more than my job's worth.
The survival of the city might depend on it.
You'd say anything just to get your own way.
All right, if that's the way it's going to be. How did you get into my office the other day, Nobby?
The door was open.
No, it wasn't. I always lock my door. In that neighborhood, my coffee maker wouldn't last 10 minutes if I didn't.
Well, I found my way in. Let's just leave it at that, eh?
How would Vimes feel if he learned that you'd been breaking and entering onto private property just to fill your own pockets?
You're not going to tell him, are you, Lewton? He'll go spare.
Well, you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours.
What would I want my back scratched for?
I mean, I'll ignore your transgression if you get me a warrant to let me into the university.
I don't know about this, Lewton. I think...
Act now. You can think about it later.
Okay. Wait here.
Well, if I couldn't count on him as a friend, I could always count on him as a coward.
Don't get out before somebody sees you.
Consider me gone. Catch you later, Nobby.
Yeah, right, Lewton.
Open up! Open up!
Hold on, hold on. What is it? Oh, it's you.
I have here a signed parchment from the oblong office allowing me access to university grounds.
Let me see that.
You'll see it's completely in order.
All right, you can come inside. Where did you get this from?
I'm a private investigator. I got this through legitimate channels.
What sort of legitimate channels?
That's not for me to discuss.
This is most aggravating. Right, here's what's going to happen. You wait here, and I'm going to go and have a word with the watch. If this checks out, then I won't have any choice but to let you in. And if it doesn't, I'll be back with the watch to have you arrested. Is that clear?
Perfectly.
Don't touch anything, don't go anywhere. Do I make myself clear?
Perfectly.
I don't like you, Lewton, and I don't trust you, but you'd better not cross me on this. I'll be back shortly.
I look forward to it. Sheesh. What did she think she'd do to me? Choke me with a duster? Now to find Gelid. I'd have to be fast. There was no telling what Fomes would do when she got back. I certainly couldn't count on Nobby to back me up when the old battle axe came storming into the watch house. I couldn't stop myself. The scent of blood made me lose control, and I transformed into my wolf form. I followed the trail of blood from the concourse up onto the rooftops. I found the Bledlow's body by the observatory. No attempt had been made to hide it. I don't think the murderer cared. I could hear voices coming from inside the observatory, and even though my better judgment said to stay away, my curiosity drew me on. I hoped there was a limitation to how many times curiosity could kill the werewolf. I made my way into the observatory, and inside was a wizard whose voice I recognized. Satrap. I wasn't sure what he was doing, but it couldn't be good.
The stars are right! A bit further! Now! Left! Left a bit!
A golem was operating the cranks for the observatory's main telescope, and Satrap was calling out instructions. I guess he was looking for something.
Mr. Lewton, do come in. I've been expecting you.
You've been using your magic to spy on me?
No, I saw you through the telescope.
Mind telling me what you're doing?
Oh, the same as everyone else. Waiting for the end of all creation.
All creation?
Well, Nylonathatep might only destroy Ankh-Morpork to begin with, but I'm sure it will get around to destroying everything sooner or later. It's all just a matter of time.
So you're the leader of the dark sect of Nylonathatep, then?
Lewton, I am the dark sect. They would be nothing without me.
And you're a wizard?
The professor of astrology, as it happens. I acquired the job only recently, although it has been empty for a while. Mathom was interested in the post, but I was fortunate enough to dispose of him as part of the summoning ritual.
So there was some internal politics involved in that murder.
Oh, make no mistake, most of those 8 murders served another purpose. People don't become cultists because they want to help the gods out. They know that it's a good way to get what they want and to justify whatever unspeakable acts they want by blaming it on a god.
Charlotta needed Reagan killed because he was blackmailing her and Mundy had the sword. What about the merchant Gaiman?
He and Kondo never got on. For all I know, there were reasons that the other people were chosen as well. It's often the way of these things.
Kondo's dead. I killed him.
Well, that'll be one less thing for Nylonathatep to do when he gets here.
How many of the cultists were secretly in the dark sect?
Only myself and Kondo. But Foid was easily manipulated to our ends as well. He rarely had any idea what was going on. We just used him because it suited our purposes to do so. Foid couldn't have told anyone what we were doing because he only barely understood anything that was going on around him.
What about Gelid? Did you kill him?
Yes, he had to be removed. He was still loyal to Anu, and he had outlived his usefulness.
What have you done with Charlotta?
As far as I know, she's still tending the wounds of that wretched excuse for a god.
You pulled the wool over her eyes, didn't you? Pretending to worship Anu.
The wool? I pulled the whole sheep.
Was Horst somehow involved in your plans?
Horst? Ha! Without Horst, we'd have never got Monday staying in the Octarine Parrot. The trouble with trying to murder in a geometric shape is you're really quite restricted as to where you can work.
So how come Horst's name isn't on the list?
He's not a cultist, Lewton. He's just a greedy troll who thought helping us would get him the sword.
Instead, it's going to get him and everyone else killed.
I really think you should have let me say that. I mean, you say it in such a disappointing fashion. I can deliver lines like that with much greater dramatic effect.
You're a vain, arrogant, dangerous man, Satrap.
Thank you.
Where's the trapezohedron?
It's funny you should ask. I was just looking for it now. Once we have our hands on it, nothing will stop Nylonathatep. The whole of creation will be destroyed.
Don't you think that laugh is a little over the top?
Listen, Lewton, there are fewer perks than you might think to being what most people would consider an insane psychopath plotting the destruction of everything. I have always thought that a good dose of mad laughter was something I had earned the right to indulge in.
This whole plan is crazy, Satrap. No one in their right mind plots such mindless destruction on such a large scale. You need help.
I have all the help I need, Lewton. I have Nylonathatep.
It's not helping you. It wouldn't help anyone. It is totally evil.
Evil? No, I will not accept that. It is conditioned simply to survive, and it can survive only by dominating all other life. When all other life is suppressed, then we will have peace. Wars will end. It is a power not of evil, but of good.
Satrap, if you had created a spell that could destroy all forms of life, would sweep throughout the disk and leave nothing in its wake, would you allow its use?
It is an interesting conjecture.
But would you do it?
Yes. Yes. To hold in my hand a scroll that contains such power. To know that life
death on such a scale was my choice. To know that the faintest of breaths speaking those words would end everything. Yes! Yes! I would do it. That power would set me up among the gods, and through Nylonathatep, I have that power!
You're deranged, Satrap. I thought Mooncalf was bad, but you take the honors. I can't allow this to continue. I have to stop you.
You cannot stop me now! I'm invincible!
Give it up, Satrap. It's over. I pursued Satrap up onto the roof. His robes were rank with the stench of Gelid's blood, and I couldn't control myself. The next thing I knew, Satrap's body was tumbling down the roof into a crumpled heap below.
Get down here! This isn't over! Don't turn away from me while I'm talking to you! Come back! This isn't over!
It is for you.
Oh, black spectre of the cold sleep of death, leave me, your humble servant, so that I can witness the destruction I have wrought in thy name.
Wrought in thy name? You should get out more often, Satrap.
I live to serve you.
Really? Any good at making curry?
No. But I am causing death and destruction on a scale as yet unprecedented.
And you think that makes me happy? I'm not the god of death, you know. I'm just death. I'm just providing a service. There are times, you know, when I get really annoyed by you mortals.
Does that mean I'm going to be punished for all eternity?
If that's what you want.
Isn't there some way I can bargain with you?
Nothing springs to mind.
Surely someone has found a way to attempt to avoid the final curtain?
Well, people sometimes challenge me to a game.
Do they ever win?
No. But someone once challenged me to that one where you knock a little ball out of a hole. Flog, I think it was called.
What sort of game is that?
A really stupid one to play against a person who spends every second working on his swing.
Can I play you at it?
If you like. Last time I got a birdie on the 18th. But it was its own fault for flying so low.
I'll do anything to save my life. Whatever you ask.
You're afraid of dying, aren't you?
I didn't think I would be. But I was wrong.
Here. Take my hand. There's nothing to worry about. The hard part is over.
Why are you being so nice to me? I tried to destroy all of creation.
Well, nobody's perfect.
The view through the telescope showed me nothing. The huge telescope was too large to be moved by hand, so a nearby golem operated the cranks. The floor of the observatory was decorated with the 64 signs of the zodiac. They were all here. The celestial parsnip, the cow of heaven, the knotted string, even Okjok the salesman. I looked at the star map and back to the mosaics. The map seemed to include a constellation. All I had to do was find out which one and tell the golem to move the telescope to look at it. Well, it was a plan of sorts. I suppose the small, boring group of faint stars might have been on the map, but if they were, they'd been drawn much brighter than they really were. Swing the telescope around to face the small, boring group of faint stars. The stars seemed to be pointing at the Salachi Mausoleum. If the map was right, the jewel was somewhere inside. I used the astrolabe to see exactly where Two Conkers' map pointed. They seemed to be indicating a grotesque in the entrance chamber. I searched